Going on, Gambino gang? Of course, Briggs Gambino as always. Let me adjust my video real quick. Let's see. There we go. Boom. All right. So this video is gonna be what's the issue with labels, right? So for those of y'all that are in the Black lesbian community, I know more of you are gonna relate with this video than anybody else. So let's break it down real quick. So as of recently, I've noticed there's been like this like taboo when it comes to labels in the lesbian community. Why are you calling yourself a stud? Why are you calling yourself a femme? Why we are women? Why can't you just be? It's that kind of energy going on in the lesbian community as of lately. Um, and my whole stance is, what is your problem with labels? Like, why can't people because, okay, let's break this down. Let's start from here. All right, so there are people that choose to label themselves, and there are people that don't. There are some people that subscribe to, labels, and there are people that don't. Not saying either one is right or wrong. My whole thing is, why can't we both coexist? Um, why is it wrong for me to label myself, but it's okay for you to not, and we can't coexist? Why, what, because there was a point in time where labels were prevalent. Labels were it. I'm not really sure where we got to a point where, labels all of a sudden became a bad thing, but, it makes me wonder. I mean, even though we are in a place where, no label is the new thing now. Okay, that's fine. But don't chastise those that still subscribe to the labels. Don't chastise them. My issue is this. If you choose not to label yourself, that's fine. Nobody's holding that against you. I could take this shit a step further and really give my real opinion on that shit, but irrelevant. I'm gonna keep this very brief. And I'm gonna keep this very level for the sake of YouTube. Now, people that know me from Facebook groups and know me on a personal level, they know where I stand on these types of issues. They know where I really stand. Not here for that. Here's the thing. If you consider yourself no label, that's fine. Nobody's holding that against you. But my thing is, don't use the fact that you don't subscribe to a certain way of thinking, or because you don't subscribe to labels, don't use that as an excuse or as a means to belittle or degrade anyone who does subscribe to labels. You get what I mean? Like, don't use that as a means to chastise or to demean or belittle or degrade those that subscribe to a different way of thinking than you. Just because you subscribe to one particular way of thinking doesn't mean other people have to subscribe to that. I don't give a shit what you think of something. Everybody deserves the same level of respect. Just like you expect respect, people that subscribe to, labels expect respect. So, I guess the general topic is, what is the issue with labels? Personally, I don't know. People use this as an excuse. Well, labels only belong on food, clothes. But I'll give my perspective. So for me, I subscribe to labels because of dating purposes. If I just simply said I'm a no label, that gives the impression and it implies that, I'm no label, and the woman I date it really doesn't matter if she subscribes to a label or not. I just kind of date any old woman. And that's false. I don't date any woman. You have to be a particular kind of woman for me to date you. That's why I subscribe to the labels, because it makes things a lot more clear and direct unless I specify otherwise. It makes things clearer in dating. Um, I'm a stud that dates femmes. Basically, that is to say, if you don't identify yourself as a femme, we could never date. Like, that's basically my way of saying that. Like, we could never date. I know what I like. I know what I'm into. I know what type of woman I'm looking for when it comes to dating. And if you don't fall in that criteria, then that that's just not what I'm into. That's not what I'm interested in. So you have to be a femme for me to date you. Like, that's just the bottom line. Sorry if that comes off however it comes off, but you have some people that have an issue with that. I mean, that's fine, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, people have preferences. But again, that goes back to the label thing. You know, people label themselves, you know, because of how they identify themselves, you know, how they look at themselves, how they feel about themselves, and because of, you know, for the purposes of, you know, dating purposes of the type of woman that they want to date, the preference of the type of woman they want to date and prefer to date. So, but you have people that have issues with that, and they find fault with that, and it's, oh well, it shouldn't matter. We all women. No, we are, but we ain't. You get what I mean? It's like, yeah, we are, but we ain't. We ain't all the same type of woman. And I don't know why people can't wrap their head around that. Like, yes, we're all women. I get it. We're all women at the end of the day. But then these will be the same type of people and I've seen it in lesbian groups on Facebook all day long. These are the same type of women that will make posts on these Facebook groups bashing studs, talking shit about studs. Studs this, studs do that. Why? How come studs don't do this? Why? Well, do studs do this? And are studs allowed to do, like, y'all? It's like, it's almost as if y'all want everybody to be like this, but all at the same time, y'all separate. And I mean, you have to realize that's the dumbest shit ever. Y'all gotta realize at some point that's the dumbest shit ever. Like, and you know, I don't say too much because it's like, at the end of the day, nobody can sway me from how the fuck I feel about who I am. I don't give a fuck what you say or how you feel. How I feel is how I feel, and at the end of the day, I'm living my life for me. I'm the only one that has to live my life. Nobody else has to live my life. Nobody. So, to hell with what anybody else has to say. But people don't understand, like, how that commentary affects the rest of the community, or the lesbian community, black lesbian community. Like, people don't realize how that affects shit. You know, it's just, you know, when you know, it's like, one minute y'all want, we all women, we all this, we all women, rah, rah, rah. But then it's, well, how come studs, blah, 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 and studs, and blah, blah, and studs, and why y'all then studs? Like, you see what I mean? Like, one minute y'all want to be inclusive, but then the next minute y'all want to be exclusive. And it doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I feel like, you know, labels are necessary, because, and I feel like, really, this really pertains to the type of person you are. You have to be strong enough to bypass all that. You really got to be strong enough to bypass all that bullshit and just say, you know what? I know what the fuck I am. I know what I ain't. And I'm standing on it. And I've been this way for years. Like, I've stood on it. Yes, have I gotten arguments? I've gotten all the debates, all the arguments, all the backlash. I've received all that over the years. Has that stopped me from being who the fuck I am? Absolutely not. Will it stop me from being who I am? Absolutely the fuck not. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. Like, at the end of the day, you can't wrap your head around that. You can't make sense of that shit, or you can't like beat that shit into your head, then that's on you. Like, I'm not here to convince you or here to educate you on basic fucking shit. Like, I can't help you if you're that fucking stupid. Like, I just can't. Like, if you just can't understand basic shit, then I can't help you. Like, I just can't. I don't really see how I can, honestly. People are gonna be who they're gonna be. They're gonna like what they're gonna like. They're gonna refer to themselves how they're gonna refer to themselves. And like, if you can't understand that, or that's something difficult for you to get, then I mean, then that's on you. Like, that's not, it's not my job to sit here and fucking teach you and like pull out a fucking chalkboard and draw fucking shapes and colors and teach you like independence of individuals. Like, people are free to express themselves as individuals. Like, I don't know how I can teach you that. So either get it or don't. Like, that's just really where I stand on it. But hit the subscribe bell, comment below, let me know if I'm right or wrong. But just please keep in mind that, like, I mean, disagreeing with me, I mean, it's not that it's not gonna get you anywhere, but I mean, it's not gonna change my stance on things. But I'm welcome to all in any comments. So like I said, hit the bell, comment, and until then, I'll holler at y'all. Gang.